Hello children, we are with our computer networks class and we are discussing network devices. We finished discussing the first two major portions, that is our major topics, that is our hub and switch, and now we are moving on to your router and gateway. So as per the syllabus says, we are supposed to confine to that. If anything more to be added, I will definitely, but in this video we are concentrating on this two new network device, router and gateway. Now, as the name suggests, the word itself is giving the idea about what is a router and what is a gateway without even looking anywhere. We can actually say a router is one which routes or gives you a particular path towards something, correct? So here in the network, for example, in our home, to be always having that modem. We call it as modem, or we actually call it as router also. Modem which helps to remote. There is an inbuilt router there. So router is the one which directs us to the open source networks which is available over there. That means which actually help us to open the windows towards our WAN, our internet. Then from this router it goes to the gateway. So put it in simple words, if you ask me how do I do that in a better manner, I have a definition for you, and I thought that is the best definition I can have for you. Of course, the PowerPoint presentation which I was showing you, I will show you, there is a good definition. So you choose which is best, as we usually do. So router is a networking device that forwards data packets. What is data packets? Your information between computer networks. Okay. Otherwise, you can also say your router is a networking device that chooses the best optimal path from available paths to send the signals. Send the signals means send the data signals. That is, there will be a lot of signals available. It chooses the best optimal path for sending our signal. So that is how we have to say about your router. So it's basically connecting the different similar kind of networks which follows a similar kind of protocols. Protocols means rules, meaning in your lab you have a LAN which is confined to a specific kind. So that LAN can be connected to a router. Another LAN will be there again in the other room of your computer lab, second computer lab. There also LAN is there. That also can be connected to a router. So router, if you want a image for it, this is how the image looks like. All this which you might have seen. This is how again your modem looks like. So I said this all somewhat similar. See the kind of link which I am having in my system or in my place is the same thing. Somewhat of this kind, D-Link. Okay, it's our wireless router. So how do you define it? Our main purpose is to define it. So how do you define it? Definition, I think this is the best definition. A router is a networking device that forwards the data packets between computer networks, or this one which I was telling you, that was your routers operate in the physical data link. No, that's not the one. The second one, router is a networking device which chooses the best optimal path from available paths to send the signals. Then you can add on. The simplest function of a router is to receive the packets from one connected networks, so on. But for you, the basic idea is to understand a definition. Now you need to work out why you need a router and all those things, correct? Why you need a router to work on? We actually have something called as security. The first line of security is the router. Now if there's a firewall enabled in the router itself, then you are being secured. So with the help of that, we actually secure it. Then we can say most routers connect to other networks only with network cables, so don't require any kind of device drivers to operate on. So just with the help of the network cables, you can connect it. That is how normally all your modems or all your routers are connected to your system, isn't it? So that is why we usually say, and how we actually work with routers, the most easy one, even though a lot of interconnected other activities are going on. Then how does it work? Routers connect to a modem using a fiber or a DSL modem. What is DSL? Direct subscriber line. And from there to other devices to allow communication to those devices on the internet. But for you, this much of, you don't have to worry about all these things. Your major concern is to understand what is a router. So how do you define it? It's a networking device which chooses the best path or best optimal path to transfer data signals. Along with that, if you want, you can add, it can forward data packets between computer networks. So which one is easy? That you finalize it. Okay. So I showed you that. Now comes your gateway. So as the name indicates, gateway is the one which opens the gateway towards your WAN, that is towards your internet. That is, many routers can be connected to one gateway. Gateway can be a device or it can be a computer itself which opens the path towards that. Well, I was trying to search for a best diagram, but what I found was like if you go for a diagram, you don't have it. Wait, I'll just change this. I'll just show you. I was trying to see this. See, the image is over here. The best image I think is somewhat like this. See, you have a lot of LANs and then the LANs is coming, and these LANs are connected towards the main computer, and from the main computer to the gateway. See the slowness in my speed. See, you have a lot of LANs. So just here, but two LANs here. Hub, the main machine to the gateway. So you can say in here in between you can have a router, modem, and then from modem to gateway. All these things can be done. So basically no such specific best diagram can be there. The device cannot be shown because it can be even a computer. So that way I think you can confine to our own definitions. So I have brought you that best definition from the areas where I work. And for that, what is a gateway? If you ask, the name suggests is a passage to connect to two networks. It can be two different networks, means from a LAN to man to WAN, which doesn't follow the same kind of protocols. But I use this word protocol for a long period of time. What is that? A protocol is nothing but the rules and regulations to be followed while working on with a computer or while working on a network. So this gateway, the best definition I will say, is a passage to connect two dissimilar networks. That is given like this, but I will make it a little more short. It's a passage or it's a device to connect two dissimilar networks. And then if you want, you can add on to that and say it's one of the many ways our data is moved from web for us. The gateway gives us entry to different networks so that we can send mails, look at web pages, etc. You don't have to worry about these things which I have written here if your mark is only one. So the first and foremost definition, gateway, what is it? It's a device used to connect two or more dissimilar networks. Matter is over. What is a router? Router is a device which helps us to transfer data signals through the network where it finds the best optimal path. With these two definitions, your actual study in this area is over. But then if you want, of course, you cannot confine to these simple things. So we will continue with our, the system's device explanation over here. So let's read it. So I was trying to say that in the beginning, routers operate in the physical data link and data and network layers. Router is a networking device which chooses the best optimal path from available paths to send the signal. It interconnects the different networks. The simplest function of a router is to receive packets from one connected network and pass them to the second connected network. But for you, the definition is already given. So you don't have to again worry about what to do. What is a gateway? So how do you say gateway is the the device which is used to connect two or more dissimilar networks, or you can say it is capable of converting protocols. It means one protocol to another, so that two different networks architecture based on two different network based protocols can be communicated with each other, or you can say it's a protocol converter. For example, you are studying in Sacred Heart now, and you have to move towards a college after that. College and Sacred Heart School has two different kinds of rules and regulations, but they will give you an orientation. when we reach school, I mean from school to college. That orientation is your gateway towards your college to make sure that you follow the rules. So it is actually making you to convert from a school student to a college student. Something like that. A network device which help us to convert one protocol to another. But this definition is not that important for me. The first one which I gave. It's a device used to connect two or more dissimilar networks. There everything is coming. And then if you wanted to say yes, it works as a protocol converter, you say I don't have any problem with. So you can say with that also. Okay. So let me just continue. There is a continuation of comparison with your hub and switch, and with your switch and router, and then with your router and gateway. Now we already discussed the comparison, but to put it in a what we call the better manner, we have the comparison once again. Without looking there, if I talk, I will say a hub is a network device which can be connected a LAN, or connecting the nodes in a LAN. It doesn't filter traffic, or it conveys, or it passes the data or information or shares resources to all the nodes connected inside that LAN. Whereas a switch is a intelligent hub which can filter the traffic. That means it makes sure that the data is being transferred to only that particular node which is actually requested, or which actually requested for that message. So if a printer has been shared with everyone, when a printer is been given the command to give a printer, only that particular machine will be connected. No other machine will be connected in a switch. So that way you can say. Now let's work on with what they have to talk about is a hub work on a physical layer. You don't have to worry that. OSI is your open source model and all, which is a very big portion of your network, but don't have to say that. You can just say switch is more efficient than hub. The reason we already told, switch can join multiple computers within one LAN, and the hub just connect multiple Ethernet devices. Don't you think better than this is what we told? Switch is smarter than hub to determine the target of the forwarding data. That is a good explanation. Since switch has a higher performance, its cost will be also more expensive. That comparison is good. Its cost is expensive than that. So filtering of data, or restricting to the data to the intended node, is what a switch is doing. Now, switch versus router. Now, switch is an intelligent hub. It works in a LAN. Whereas router help us to find the best optimal path, or the best path to transfer data signal from one LAN to another LAN. You understood, no? Router is very different from the switch because it is for routing packet to other networks. It is also more intelligent and sophisticated to serve as an intermediate destination to connect multiple area networks together. So this much, if you wanted to study, you can study. Otherwise, how will you say? We already said the same thing again and again. So router, what is it doing and what is the difference? Router can connect different LANs together and and communicate with the different LANs, which follows the same kind of protocol. With the help of that, we are moving on to the next one. That is our router versus gateway. Gateway regulates the traffic between two dissimilar networks. See, that particular definition came here. So that is the best one. While router regulates traffic between two similar networks. So the matter is over. This is also good. Whatever definition you are taking, you make sure that you add on to that two other sentences if it's a 2-mark question, which requires the best explanation. Okay? Okay, so this is it. So gateway regulates traffic between two dissimilar networks, while router regulates traffic between two similar networks, or which two networks which actually follows the same protocol. Router is a hardware device that forwards data packet between the computer networks. Now regarding connection with one network with your router. That's not specified anywhere, but since it is given with this PowerPoint, I just thought of just explaining that also. For example, there are 30 computers connected inside the network A. All these computers communicate with each other. In this situation, no gateway is needed. Understood? Because router is with the routing table that defines and it jumps within those 30 computers. Enough. Connection between two different computers in a gateway. That time you require a gateway. Then there are two networks, networks A and network B. So computer X from network A wants to send data to computer Y from network B. Then we need a gateway. So I hope the understanding process of router and gateway is clear with this explanation. Even though if it was in a classroom, we would have taken 2 or 3 classes. This is confined within one video because what is relevant only we have talked. So after watching this, if you wanted to understand or if you wanted to say, read more into this, you better say it to me. Otherwise, for you to differentiate between and how which one to choose for which particular area is the important one, and that has already been discussed. So we are concluding the video session regarding your corresponding that is not there in the syllabus. Okay, corresponding network devices over. So after that we will be moving on to topologies. So till then we will go through this once again, understand it. By the time I come for meet and ask questions on this matter, you should be ready. I'll be sending the notes, don't worry, with the word file I'll be sending the notes. You before you write that notes into your book, you watch the video and try to get the definition which I have told. The same definition or somewhat similar definition will be always found in your notebook. So thank you. Okay, good day.